I'll say thanks to Victoria, who does a lot of work with victims, and comrade in arms, Melissa, who with her work for international aid, and obviously her service to our country as well. So we give one more round of applause for them. Thank you. My name is Glenn Kunkel. I am here representing the Wounded Warrior Project as a spokesperson, and I'm representing them because I served for 10 years in the Marine Corps. I went in when I was 17, July 21st, 1997. I enlisted in the delayed entry program. So my apologies, go Navy. But then from there
Marines are welcome, it's all right.
Appreciate that. We try not to break too much stuff. I went in 1997, and on my 17th birthday I enlisted, and 9 months later I went to boot camp at Parris Island. And this was peacetime Marine Corps. I went to boot camp in 1998, so I was almost off contract when September 11th happened. I was actually in Japan, had less than a year left, and obviously wasn't the time to take off in uniform, so I stuck around. And I ended up in Iraq in 2005 in the Anbar province as a squad leader in the infantry, and got some boo-boos. 120 millimeter mortar came in to our forward operating base north of the city of Hit. I don't know if anybody's familiar with the geography of the Anbar province, but on the wild, wild west. And they shot at us pretty much every day, and this day they just happened to get lucky, and I took shrapnel to the head and right calf and the left side of my body. I was obviously medevac from theater to the United States, where I underwent about 10 months of physical therapy and other therapies to get me back up to par. At the end of that physical therapy, I was told that I was not going to be permitted to serve as a rifleman in the beloved Corps anymore. And being the resourceful NCO that I was, I disagreed with 30 years of doctors' training and experience, and took my medical records before they went to the Navy Yard over to the prior service recruiter, and got on board with a unit that was headed back to Iraq within a week. The medical staff was not pleased at all with that. But during that 10 months, I saw a lot of things change in the war in Iraq, and I saw that the quickest way to get Americans out of harm's way and out of that situation in general was to stand up the Iraqi army. So I trained to become an advisor to the Iraqi army, went back and did another tour as a company commander, shadowing a company commander of Iraqi infantry. It was very interesting. And I got a couple more boo-boos, and then when I came home, they made sure that I didn't get away with skipping the medical board again. So I didn't really have a recourse for that. I intended to be a Marine for 30 years and all that. So I didn't know what to do when I got out in August of 2008, so I grew sideburns. Exactly, yeah. It was a very welcome change. I never knew how liberating 2 inches of hair could really be inside of your face. But despite my new sideburns, I had a lot of difficulties readjusting, getting back into society with my injuries, as well as not having a squad to lead or a company of Iraqi soldiers to lead, and I was pretty lost for a while. I wasn't making very good decisions. I didn't have any direction really whatsoever. I was never much of a student. I was quite happy to go to Parris Island the day after I graduated high school for whatever reason. But college wasn't really on my radar at the time. I just wanted to be a Marine. I really liked my job, and when I couldn't do that anymore, I put the cart before the horse and then went the other way. There was about a year little over a year that I just kind of wandered around confused, and like I said, what little direction I did have guided me usually to the neighborhood pub, which isn't a good place to spend your pension. Shortly thereafter, I found the Wounded Warrior. Actually, the Wounded Warrior Project found me. Joe Gross lost his leg in Iraq in 2004. He works for the project as an outreach coordinator. He goes and finds warriors like myself and says, hey, you know, get out of your apartment, stop drinking so much, and get back to living your life. So I did, and I went to San Antonio, Texas on a bike ride. I hadn't been on a bike since I was probably 12 years old, and he's like, hey, you know, packing up gear for 3 days, we're going to Texas, ride a bike. Like, I can't afford a plane ticket, and I haven't been on a bike since, you know, before my voice changed, so I don't think this is a good idea. He's like, don't worry about it. He's like, we got your plane, we got your hotel, and it's true, you don't really forget, so come on. I'm picking you up in about half an hour. Well, at that point I realized I didn't have much choice, so I found myself in Texas for 3 days. And I let myself go a little bit, kind of angry and depressed, and so I wasn't keeping up with my physical fitness. And riding a bike, it takes some physical effort, as I was reminded very ungently, riding 30 miles through the city of Austin. And I tell you, I was like, you know what, this is dumb. I'm tired, I'm sleepy, I don't want to ride a bike today, it's hot outside, and I think that next time I see, you know, one of the service trucks and support vehicles, I'm just going to toss my bike in there and call it a day. About the same time, I saw this guy who had lost both his legs to an IED in Baghdad, pedaling a hand bike up a hill past me. I don't know if you've ever seen somebody ride a hand bike, you know, it's difficult. And I'm pedaling as much as I can pedal, and this guy just, see? Yeah. So I changed my mind about getting in the safety vehicle, and went ahead and finished the ride, and the next 2 days ride. And that really, in just a few minutes, just seeing that really put things in perspective for me. That, you know, no matter what injuries I've had, and whether physical or psychological, and it's how I deal with them that is going to make a difference. And during another soldier ride in New York City, I was reminded of these things, and I'm starting to move forward with my life at a slower rate than I like. You know, especially being a Marine, we get to be a little bit impatient. So slowly but surely, I'm getting back into the groove of being a normal human being, and trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. And I meet Chris Rick, who's the manager of the track program in Jacksonville, Florida. And like I said, I'm not a very good college student. It's a miracle I got out of high school. I got out of high school with like 1.4 GPA or something. All my recruiter wanted was a diploma. That's all I had to give him, so it seemed easy enough. Let's just get that diploma. And the track program is a college prep program based off of the prep schools for the U.S. Military Academy, Naval Academy, VMI, things of that nature. It's developed by Military Academy graduates. I'd like to talk to Melissa about that afterwards, if she has the time.
I think it's one of my classmates is one of the...
Adam Silva?
Sean
I'm sorry?
Sean Olds?
No. It's possible, I don't know. There's a lot of people working there. But anyways, Chris Rick tells me about the track program, and I say, I don't think you want me there. I'm bad at school. I don't like it. And I'd rather be out in the woods learning how to blow something up or digging holes, which is pretty much what the infantry consists of. Is there any infantry veterans here? He's like, dig a hole, wait for something to blow up, move to another hole. And that's the infantry in a nutshell. Carry a bunch of stuff that you don't need. But he and the health and wellness coordinator, Jason Martinez, who's probably the most fit individual that I've ever met in my life, you know, they talked me into going down to Florida and checking out the track program. And so I did. I went down there for an interview to see if the program was really for me and whether I was really for the program. And I went down there in January of 2010 with an abysmal academic record. and really no clear